just going for the ball. All 50-50 balls, all loose balls will be a tie-up or some type of deflection with Charlotte.
Good test here for the Hurricanes today. Charlotte does come in at 3-3, but a difficult schedule to start the year. Games against Ohio State and Wake Forest as part of their first 6-game slate. Miami coming off a 71-66 win against Campbell here in the Watsco Center last time out. Jumped out to a 27-9 lead before the Camels roaring back the rest of the way. First possession here for the 49ers. 6 seconds to shoot, going inside. Jayla Kelly kicks it to the corner. That's airballed. Offensive rebound, though. Have to get the shot off. Shot didn't hit the rim. Shot clock didn't reset. It's an early turnover for Charlotte.
Miami did a really good job, you know, in that zone. Miami's really big. Sometimes they come out in a 1-3-1 zone, but they start big, and so it's really easy for them to be a huge distraction to the offense.
Cavender twins in the starting 5 here today. Cameron Williams underneath, and that's the first bucket for Williams here today, starting off the score.
Oh, she's picking up where she left off.
Look at the Charlotte starting 5 again. Breland leads the way. Just over 12 points per game this season, the transfer from Jackson State. Only started 3 games last year. Has started every game so far this season. And that's PK Green in the mid-range. The Texas A&M transfer not in the game at 2.
Well, you know, Breland coming over with Tamika Reed, you know, although she didn't have that significant impact of a year last year, she has what you call the foundational pieces and understanding the system that she came from.
Went over the inline there. Miami will keep possession. Tamara, this is one of those games early on in the regular season. It's a noon start, the day after Thanksgiving. The band isn't here for the game. How do you bring the energy for a noon game like this? How difficult is it to bring your own energy as a travel here on Miami?
I mean, incredibly difficult. You wonder if someone still have yams and if they had ham for breakfast this morning. It's really difficult to be focused, but when this is your focus, when this is your job, you find a way to get up and not play to the level of competition, but to play towards your effort and what you've worked on this entire week.
Do you have any Thanksgiving leftovers?
I have leftovers for the entire week.
Can I have some?
Absolutely.
Knocked out of play. We'll stay with Charlotte.
Peach cobbler will be for lunch.
I'll take everything but the cranberries, okay? Everything but the cranberries.
Not a fan, huh?
No.
I get it.
A minute and a half into the game here. Breland trying to get going from the elbow. Just a bit too strong. Marshall fighting for the rebound. It's grabbed by Madison Rochelle. Shot clock reset. From the wing, that's a bit short. Another offensive rebound here for Charlotte.
When you think about Charlotte, you think about their rebounds. On paper, they are almost identical at the rebounding margin, averaging 38.3 with Miami 38.4 a game.
3 seconds to get the shot off. Rochelle, not that time. High off the backboard, rebounded by Cavender, looking to push. Haley Cavinder, of course, standout game was at Florida to start the season, trying to get going from the perimeter. Too strong there at 31 points in that rivalry win over the Gators. Last time out against Campbell, 15 points on 6 of 14 shooting.
What has been successful for Miami is when they get the ball into the post, when they play inside out, they get very easy, high percent shots.
Cameron Williams has been a strong point in that regard. Smith forcing her way to the rim will get to the free throw line.
To not allow offense to penetrate through the middle, it collapses your defense. The only thing that can come out of there is a basket or a foul.
First team foul on Miami. Breland will get a breather here. Amani Smith, who started her collegiate career at Gulf Coast State, averaging just over 4 points a game this year. Now 9 of 13 at the stripe this season. Charlotte coming off an 83-67 win against Gardner-Webb back in Halton Arena last week. That's the other aspect of this. I mentioned noon start, post-Thanksgiving holiday. Neither of these teams have played in 7 and 8 days. First time taking the court in a little bit too. 3/4 court pressure here from the 49ers. Cavender's all by herself. Now 0 for 2 from distance to start the game.
Well, she typically make you pay for leaving her that wide open.
Somewhat of a slow start to the season shooting the ball for Cavender from deep. Started 2 for 14 from the outside. He's a 40% three-point shooter last year. Did have 3 triples last game. This 3 is rattled home. Alexis Andrews, the College of Charleston transfer. Charlotte out to a 7-2 advantage early.
Yeah, Miami out to a little bit of a slow start. Like you said, we have not seen a lot of balls entering the post and playing that inside-out game. Now we see it a little bit here. And when that happens, great things happen for the Miami Hurricanes.
Jasmine Roberts underneath, who has steadily grown in her role here in Coral Gables through the years. True senior, limited action her freshman year. That's a good offensive set right there.
It's a great offensive set. When we're looking at Charlotte, they kick it, they penetrate in, they kick it out, very high percentage shot. And then we come down with Miami, the same thing on the other end.
Jasmine Roberts, the Jacksonville native, 75% at the stripe this year, knocks that one down. Only 3 points against Campbell, so already has matched that in 3.5 minutes here today. Both teams utilizing some full court pressure out of the gates. Charlotte no problem that time. Green whips it to the wing. Amani Smith from downtown.
Looks like a little bit of confusion defensively. Charlotte made them pay for it.
Canes break the pressure. Roberts lost it. Will stay with the Hurricanes.
Miami has to regroup just for a second.
Tiana Rimbert checking in for the first time. Maya Hinton, meanwhile, entering for UM.
She's back from her season-ending injury last year. She tore ACL.
Roberts fade away. Rattles off. Good rebound by Williams in the putback.
She started this game off 100%.
16 starts last season at Michigan, played 34 games. Just over 7 points per game. Feels like she's taking on a bigger role in her final season of college basketball.
Absolutely, and game by game, she has gotten better.
Andrews will rise from 3. That one's good.
Well, someone's filling it down here. Day after Thanksgiving, she's hungry.
3 consecutive triples for the 49ers. 13-7 lead. Hitton looks to answer. Off back rim, and skying for the rebound is Rochelle. Strong start here from Charlotte, pushing for more. Mid-range. Just off the heel. Cavender whips it inside. He forced the issue a little bit in transition there. And Charlotte will walk it up the court.
All right. You did a lot of road racing. You just slow it down a little bit and get a quality shot on either end. Both teams getting up and down the court at a very fast pace.
The tennis match for a moment. Cavender gets the steal to her sister, and Haley will finish at the rim.
If there is a statistic for Cavender to Cavender assists.
Well, Hannah is tied for the team lead in assists for this UM program. 4 per game, picks up 1 right there. Green, baseline, well too strong. Roberts snares it. Up the floor, breakaway. Cavender for 2.
UM putting together a run of their own. Theme for the past several years with this Miami team has been defense turns into offense. And so when you see Miami out in transition, when you see them active defensively, it turns into offense.
The 3-point barrage, though, is continuing here. Alexis Andrews, 3 for 3 from distance.
She's eating.
Cavender, offensive foul. Tiana Rimbert draws the charge. Great energy from Charlotte to start this Thanksgiving tournament off. Hitting everything from the outside. Niners lead by 5. Well, a pair of head coaches today in their first seasons guiding their respective programs. Trisha Kola coming in from Toledo, of course. 11 postseason appearances there, 6 MAC Coach of the Year awards. Did about everything she could in Ohio and looking to replicate that kind of success here in Coral Gables. For Charlotte, Tamika Reed, how successful was she with Jackson State? 5 regular season SWAC titles in a row. They were leading LSU in the 4th quarter of the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago. Put a scare in the Tigers. Played UConn last year in the tournament. After that game, Gino Oriema, of course, Huskies head man, so complimentary of the job Tamika Reed had done at Jackson State. So much respect, and that translated into the Charlotte job this past offseason. You can see the intensity that her program is bringing right out of the game here.
Absolutely. Last season, Tamika Reed with Jackson State held Miami. They only won, they lost. Jackson State lost to Miami by 7 points. You know, she's always played Miami very, very difficult, as we see a response from Haley Cavinder. She's always played Miami very, very difficult, and this has always been a great test for the Canes.
Yeah, Jackson State, Miami, that was tied at the half last year before the Canes were able to get a little bit of distance. Cavinder now 1 for 3 from distance in this game. Good hands defensively. It'll stay with Charlotte, 15 on the shot clock.
And this is one of the units where I consider Miami's defensive unit. They have a lot of defensive intensity. When you look at Adams, she draws offensive screens all the time. And this is the time usually when Miami just gets better as you go off the bench.
Andrews is feeling it. Really knocked that one down from well beyond the arc. Yeah, Nate Adams is something to the game. Here's Darian Rogers. Too strong.
She can really fill it up. That was a good job of Haley getting her set up for that open shot in transition.
Miami 1 of 5 from downtown. Andrews thought about it. Adams able to recover in time. Andrews attacking. Help comes. Fade away as well off the mark. Good defense there from Miami as Rogers brings it up the floor. Charlotte 4 of 8 from downtown. Cavender foul. It's its 2nd team foul on Charlotte.
We like to see Miami getting into the lanes, stopping the clock, getting to the free throw line. Sacrifice of the body from Abbius. Strong penetration to the middle of the lane. Miami gets another possession.
Much tougher 1st quarter vibe right now for the Hurricanes than they faced against Campbell when they shot 69% from the field, led by 18. 10 different players scored in that game. Offensive foul here. Abbius didn't hold her ground. Miami will turn it over as Hannah Cavender will check in.
This is the type of intensity that you're going to see in ACC play. Abbius is going to have to know she has to be set to allow the guard to come off of that screen, or it's going to be an offensive foul.
Didn't lean her shoulder in there, just contorted her whole body to try to set the screen. Charlotte gets a bucket underneath, back up by 4. Deflection out of play. What do you feel Charlotte's trying to do with this 3/4 court pressure right now?
I think they're going to force Miami to show that they can handle the ball. Charlotte also very good defensively. When we talk about tips, we talk about steals. They are up there with the best of Miami's when we talk about those things. And so Miami's going to have to show that they can handle the ball under pressure, make entry passes, and do something in the half-court set. And I think just slowing down Miami. Miami went on that run. They had a lot of transition points. They had a lot of paint points from easy transition buckets. But this is being slowed down right now.
Cavender popped to the top of the perimeter. Was all by herself, left it short. Rebound and a foul. Adams will go to the free throw line. And Charlotte did force 26 turnovers last time out against Gardner. Obviously, Miami a step up in competition. Here's the rebound.
Just that effort, second chance opportunities, something that the Miami guards does a great job at.
Rochelle will re-enter on. Adams, freshman from Massachusetts. He's ranked as the #10 point guard in the country at top 40 prospect as well, part of this top 20 class that Trisha Kolop was able to bring in after taking the reins of the program in April.
She has been a firecracker off the bench. When you come down to defensive intensity, big energy player. She is a big energy player.
Miami's trailed the majority of this first quarter. They're going inside. Here to Kelly is Charlotte. Turn on Williams. And a nice finish. That'll roll through.
Oh, I like Kelly. That. Yeah. I like that. Good old back to the basket post play.
That's good footwork right there, partner.
That's great footwork. You don't see that often in the game of women's basketball now. You see all the post players getting out there shooting threes now.
It's a really fun matchup tonight. Williams and Jayla Kelly.
Absolutely.
Both are high-level players in the interior. 7 to shoot. Cavender surveys. Rogers driving. Free throw line, Jay. You bet.
There's very little you could do about that possession. Charlotte played perfect defense into the last 1 second of that possession.
Those are buckets you can live with as a coach.
Absolutely.
A 10-second differential here. Baseline drive. Off the side of the backboard, Rogers the rebound. Up the floor, Miami running. Cavender trying to chase it down. Just throws it over her shoulder. Marshall blocks, but foul.
Wow. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is good old basketball. We look at a few of the sequences right here. Inside out. She's not going to throw it out. No, she's going to do a good little post move, finish with the left hand. And then Miami comes right back down with Rogers, with the little floater. Few seconds to spare. It's just an up and down game, which ends with Marshall at the free throw line for 2 shots.
That was a good look at that post. That was elite footwork down there. The spin, avoiding the travel.
Now, I'm not really that impressed when it comes to post play nowadays in 2024, but that was impressive to see.
Imagine executing a post move like that. It's like to hit a long 3. Post move on a good player like Williams.
Absolutely. It's a career highlight for you.
10 seconds to go in the quarter. Canes trail by 1. High screen for Cavender. 5 seconds. Inside. Deflected by Charlotte. 3.4 on the clock. Cavender will inbound it. Miami figuring out what set they want to run. Charlotte denying. They got it to Adams. Forced out of her hands. And now in the quarter. Entertaining first 10 minutes in Coral Gables. It's
for Miami.
49ers had a 7-0 run in the middle of that corner. Miami settled down and responded. Just a 2-point game here after 10 minutes of play. Jump ball. And the arrow is with Charlotte.
Well, that was a good scout for Charlotte. They know that once a high post in Miami gets that ball, it is for a duck in for Jasmine, who right now is playing as a forward.
Miami bringing the pressure to midcourt, nearly forced the turnover. Charlotte able to get out of the trap. Rochelle traveled.
Marshall at the top of Miami's 1-3 run or that zone is a huge deterrent for passes. Just a lot of steals and tips out of that defensive set.
Okay, Miami 5-0 to start the year, coming off a 19-12 campaign. It's a foul called on the floor here against Charlotte. Canes were just on the outside looking in the NCAA tournament bubble. Of course, that followed that magical run to the Elite Eight a few years ago. Haley Cavinder shushing the Indiana crowd. Miami nearly taking down LSU in the Elite Eight. They're hoping to get back to that. Good inbounds play. Williams turns and off the window for a pair.
And you can forget it. I was just telling you about having to scout for individual players on these teams. Cameron is going to be someone you have to scout defensively. You're going to have to send a double at her, make her score with her second and third best move.
In the last 3 games, Williams is 16 of 20 from the field. She's 3 of 3 to start today. Really finding her groove. Green drives, difficult angle. Weak side, a rebound from Roberts. Here comes Miami again. Cavender driving, good seal. Cross-court pass. Haley turns it over. Cavender, pump fake. Good ball movement here from the Hurricanes. Cavender three, skips off. Williams, foul.
Wow, what a possession. Are you out of breath?
Excellent ball movement. Trisha Kola has to love that.
Absolutely, kept the defense on their toes. Fantastic ball movements to keep the defense guessing, and just a half a second late. And what do you get when that happens? Williams at the line for two.
Charlotte was caught in rotation. Miami nearly had an easy putback. Williams will have to earn a pair from the line. Of course, basketball family has been well chronicled. Her father, Aaron, 14 seasons in the NBA. Her uncle, also an NBA career before going overseas for a bit. Bring a player that 4 years at Michigan. Power conference experience, now ready to continue to be a leader in her final season of college basketball. Looks up to the task.
One would say she has pretty good genetics.
Yeah, no doubt. Rembert, poor pass. Scramble for it at midcourt. Charlotte will keep hold of it. Just 10 on the shot clock, though. Long three. Breland still trying to get going here. Rebound, though. Look who it is. Madison Rochelle that time, crashing the boards.
One thing that I will continuously say, this team does not go away. They want all of the 50-50 balls.
Williams, not that time. Got her own rebound. Patient inside and finishes.
It's gonna make you pay. If you can see 4-4 on the front of her jersey, there's probably nothing you can do once she gets the ball.
Miami's been real cognizant about not letting those opportunities go to waste. The entry passing into her this year, they've been really well done over the course of this season. That one's off the marks from Rochelle after her last bucket. Cavender sees a one-on-one opportunity. Mid-range, not that time.
You know, speaking with Coach Cullop, before the season started, she emphasized how she wants her offense ran. She wants it ran inside out. They're going to force the situation when it comes down to post play, her being a true and natural post herself, and that is exactly what we've seen from this Miami team.
Breland over three now from the field. That went off the foot of Roberts. 7th turnover on Miami here in the first half. Rochelle all by herself, she'll fire and knock it down. Rochelle with 5 straight points. Charlotte back in the lead. The turnovers continuing here for the Canes. 2-on-1, Smith dishes it, Green, pump fake, and the 2. Timeout Miami.
Miami having to figure out how to regroup and sustain the run. That is something that Miami has had a little bit of trouble with. Down 3 right now, Miami.
Graduate programs in education, sports administration, data analytics, music, and live entertainment management, and more. You online lets you learn anytime, anywhere. Visit miami.edu/online and find out how a degree or certificate from the University of Miami can jumpstart your career.
back here at the Watsco Center. 10 field goals for Charlotte today. Half of them have come from downtown. Big part of this 7-0 run right now.
3 3-pointers off the bench from Adams, but she's also in company when it comes down to those with Rochelle and Smith, just doing a fantastic job of being able to knock down the basket beyond the arc.
Meanwhile, Miami 0 for 6 from distance. Get going from the outside. Trailing by 3 here, 6.5 to play here in the first half. AJ Ricketts alongside the Miami Hall of Famer Tamara James. Glad to have you with us. This holiday tournament here from Gables. Top of the perimeter, bounces off. Natalia Marshall was trying to knock down the first triple for UM. That drought will continue.
Miami just struggling just a little bit from beyond the arc. We're going to have to show how they're able to score in a half-court setting as Charlotte has slowed down the transition game of the Hurricanes.
We thought Cavender had one early in the game. They went back to the monitor, ruled that a 2. Harmon to the free throw line. That's a travel.
The frustration is showing right now for the Hurricanes team. And this is something that they're going to have to show how they can break momentum, break their stride, and get back into the swing of how Miami plays basketball. Right now, just a little rattled.
Mistake there from Abias, the junior from Wichita State. Miami went on a 7-0 run a few minutes ago. Charlotte responded in kind. Here's the drive. Rochelle over the defense. Off the mark, but a blocking foul. That'll go against Marshall. First foul on Miami here in the second quarter.
Nice thought for Marshall to set it up for the charge, but she didn't have her quite centered. You see her just turned a little bit to her left-hand side, allowing for that to be an easy call for the officials.
It's a Charlotte team that really got the offense going in the second half of their last game. Again, 8 days ago. But outscored Gardner-Webb by 17 in the second half. Big moment in that game. Gardner-Webb went up by 8 in the third quarter. Tamika Reed calls timeout. They switched to a zone look. Immediately went on a 14-1 run and didn't look back the rest of the way. I wonder if we'll see that at some point here today.
Well, you know, basketball's all about adjusting. So whatever necessary adjustments that you see that work, you stick with those until your opponent can break it.
Yeah, right now no need to. I think they'll take a 5-point lead midway through the second quarter as they force yet another turnover. That's the 10th on Miami in the first half.
Not a lot of chemistry being shown right now from this Miami bunch. Someone has to emerge as the leader and calm this Miami team down.
Look at that turnover margin, 10-3. Charlotte playing with confidence here in Coral Gables. Shepard to Rochelle, will let it go. Another! 6 triples for Charlotte. Rochelle's 2 for 3 from distance. Largest lead of the game for the 49ers.
I think Miami's gonna have to come out of that 1-3-1 zone. While they have shut down the middle of that paint area, not allowing that penetration, they have given up 6 3-pointers in this first half.
It's igniting the defensive intensity with it, although a little too physical from Akiti underneath.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. That's how you defend the paint, right?
That's a fouls to give.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And that's been the most effective offense for Miami, is going inside to Williams.
As you see the substitution.
Comes back in, yep. Wasn't on the floor there. Miami realizing they may need her. Inside. 2 shots coming up.
Immediately, you can see the impact that Leah Harmon has when she's able to come in there. Just a strong freshman point guard. Great addition for Tricia and this gang here at the University of Miami in this point guard.
New Jersey native, 5-star recruit of IMG Academy. About 4.5 points per game this year, building her role in her first campaign at the U.
Yep, she lives up to her resume.
No problem on the first. So that breaks the 10-0 run that Charlotte was just on. We hadn't scored in 3.5 minutes.
Sometimes you have to slow the ball game down and see it go to the hoop, through the hoop.
Charlotte has had no issues with this Miami defense, picking up where they left off Hilton Arena in the second half last week. And this is without their top scorer, Haley Breland, even on the scoreboard. 0 for 3 from the field. Andrews picked up her dribble, 4 to shoot. Rochelle will fire. Side of the rim. Didn't get that one to go after hitting her last 2. Cavender, aggressive. Harmon for 3. 3-point drought continues for the Canes. 0 for 8, and then a foul on Williams. 70 feet from the bucket.
It's a little vent move. You slow down a little bit, let the post hit you, get a little bit of contact. As you'll see right here, slow down just a little bit, get a little contact and fall. But it's a great job that she didn't lose her dribble just in case that call wasn't called.
It's the second team foul on Miami. They'll gladly pick one up on Williams there. Excellent first half from Charlotte thus far. Andrews. Keedy forces it up, well off the mark. Tamika Reed not happy with that offensive possession. Cavender crosses over. Difficult shot, count it.
Oh, but you can see the passion from that. She's just been having such a frustrating start. This is something that she needed. You don't typically see this amount of passion from her, but with the quick crossover, finishing in the lane with the contact, you can see how much she needed this to get her going.
What have you seen in the first half out of Cavender? Charlotte taking her out of her rhythm. Somehow, what's been the first half MO for Cavender?
I mean, the country have scouted her. When you play Miami, you are going to scout the Cavender Twins, and when you scout that, you try to take away their best moves. She likes to dribble hard and pull back with the pullback, but they are able to keep in front of her, and that is providing just to be a little bit challenging for her.
15.5 points per game this season for Cavender. She's at 7 now on 3 of 7 shooting. Brings Miami back within 1 possession. 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Rembert thought about it, looking to drive on Williams. Williams didn't want to pick up that second foul there. Marshall spot up. 0 for 9 from distance are the Canes. Cavender rebound and the turn. Looking like a post player.
Okay, she said she'll live inside of the arc for now. But sometimes as a basketball player, that's what you need sometimes to get yourself going. You're not going to always have such a prolific shooting percentage from the outside. You have to force the issue sometimes, and she's doing a great job doing that.
Earning her buckets right now, though. Degree of difficulty on the last 2. Breland still can't get it going from the field. If you're Charlotte, you love that you have the lead right here when your leading scorer is yet to get on the board. So figure if they're going to come out with a win at some point, Breland will have to get going.
She's definitely one of the heartbeats of this two-headed snake here.
Roberts skips off. Cavender another offensive board. She has 6 rebounds in the first half.
Something else that she does a very good job at. She's not just a shooter, she's not just a scorer, but she's able to provide you with extra possessions offensively because she's very active on the glass.
Can't get the 3. Roberts hauls in the rebound. Cavender cuts to the rim. Timeout, Charlotte. Cavender has the last 7 for Miami. And that's the kind of spark the Canes have needed here in the first half.
It has been the Cavender show when we look at the past several baskets and what they have needed. So it brings Miami within 1.
Cavender with 7 straight points for the Hurricanes. One of 2 Miami players now in double figures. It's brought Miami back to within 1.
much needed run before the halftime break. Cavender showing why she is Cavender and why she means so much to this program. Put together an entire offensive run on her own, but not without the defensive intensity that her teammates provided.
This has been an entertaining first half. It felt like either of these sides been too rusty after the holiday break and the noon start. Oh, backdoor cut. Rochelle, that's well done. Caught Miami asleep.
Great patience in knowing that you had a shot blocker in Marshall right behind her.
36-33. Zone look here from the 49ers. Marshall cuts inside. A lot of contact. Offensive foul.
What a way to sacrifice your body if you were Smith. I know that had to be a little bit uncomfortable, just stepping up, sacrificing and taking just that knee to the chest. She deserved that.
I think that drew the biggest smile we've seen from Tamika Reed here in the first half. Loves to see her players sacrifice her body like that.
Oh, absolutely. It's a coach's dream.
Tamika Reed said heading into the season, Charlotte gave me a Mississippi feel. The family, the closeness, to be an environment where I can establish my culture. I think that's been done pretty quickly here as Rochelle short on the mid-range. 1 minute to play here in the first half. Hannah Cavender, nice dime off to Williams.
And Williams running the floor. This is the best I've seen her in these last couple of games. She's really getting it all together. She's putting it together, and she looks really elite out there right now as a basketball player. So kudos to Trisha Cullup and her coaching staff for developing that.
Miami Bigs are realizing they run the floor, they'll get the ball. 5 assists now for Cavender today. That's above her average already. Rembert, mid-range. Offensive board, Rochelle. Now a 5-second differential between shot and game clock. Tamika Reed calling out the set. A pair of players to set a high ball screen. Green inside the wing. 4 seconds. Green has to get it off. Step back is blocked by Roberts. Great defensive possession there down the stretch for Miami, and they'll have 4.3 left to work with.
To shut down the half with that type of defensive play has to give your team some excitement and something to look forward to going into the half.
Cavender picks it up in midcourt, 2 seconds. Turning has to get it off, flings it up. And Charlotte will take a 1-point lead into the locker room. A strong first half. AJ Ricketts, Tamara James, delighted to have you alongside us. First matchup between these two programs since 2016. Corner 3, Cavender, no. Charlotte was nearly able to get out on the run there. Roberts winds up with it. Good turn. Cavender, cut off. 10 seconds to shoot. Marshall, mid-range. Got it.
I think there just was a little defensive confusion. I heard Tamika Reed telling her team to match up, and one of those players did not convert from that zone to man, which left Marshall wide open.
First bucket from the fields for Marshall today. Puts Miami out in front. Green bounces it. Free throw line, Jayla Kelly, you bet.
Nice to see a post player able to hit that free throw line extended shot.
Kelly's been a typical starter, but did not start against Gardner-Webb after the Charleston Southern loss. She said, I was challenged by our coaching staff to rebound more. I took that personally. It's a big point of emphasis. Contributing here today. Post pass inside, deflected away by Kelly. Green, over the defense for 2.
Quick transition bucket for Charlotte. And on a team that likes to run, I've always been taught you run back on that team.
Looking inside to Marshall, that was defended well. Switch the floor, Cavender. A little hesitation, gets to the paint. 6 to shoot. Inside, Williams, great catch. Across the lane, left hand and in.
I tell you what, Kelly is not going to, she cannot allow for Williams to be that far in front of her with that much space to create around the rim. Williams have been unstoppable.
Kelly had a nice couple sequences before that. And for the first time this afternoon, Haley Breland able to find the score column. Averages just over 12 points per game. 1 for 5 now from the field. See if that gets Breland going.
If you're Miami, you're hoping you did not wake up a sleeping giant.
Cavender, Canes need it. That's still not going to be the answer there. 0 for 13 from three-point range.
The Canes are getting the shots they want to get. They're just not locking them down.
They're good looks. Miami a 25% three-point shooting team, and Breland has back-to-back buckets. Trisha Colup doesn't like that. Timeout Miami.
Oh, Tamika Reed on fire right now with Breland getting in the groove of things, putting her team up 5.
The last 2 buckets for Charlotte coming from their junior guard, Haley Breland. Was scoreless for the first half and only taken 4 shots, but now starting to wake up here in the third quarter, partner.
You know, it only takes a breath of momentum to breathe fire back into your veins, and if you're Miami, you definitely don't want that.
Rogers trying to squeeze it inside to Williams, turns it over. And when Breland's playing at her best, she reminds me a little bit of a former Miami guard, actually. Adrian Motley was a high-level scorer here in Coral Gables for a couple of years. Great acceleration, able to finish at the rim through contact. Got 30 points against Gardner-Webb. Picks up the dribble here over the top. Difficult pass to Kelly, almost able to finish. Williams the rebound.
Oh, very, 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 very great court vision by Breland and Kelly to be able to have that kind of connection and get that shot. Although it was a miss.
Nope. Rebound. Put back there, count the basket.
Much needed Miami basket by the senior, Jasmine Roberts.
Roberts with 5 points now. Took the contact. Difficult game against Campbell, was just 1 of 4 from the field. 3 points in that matchup.
Miami has had a challenge with consistency, but we always say good teams find a way to win ugly games.
She's put her time in through the years in Coral Gables. Trisha Kolob said she's a matchup nightmare. Can play inside or out, can shoot at all 3 levels. That time embracing the contact and bringing Miami within 2 points. Breland with the ball. Charlotte will work offense here. At the rim. Rochelle this time has been getting it done from the outside today. Knocks in that 5-footer.
That stop and rise was a little nasty.
Rochelle has 14. Cavender desperate to end the drought, and it was halfway down. Roberts diving for it. Cavender is fouled. Great extra effort by Roberts will net Miami a pair of free throws.
We look at Haley Cavinder. They're really just giving her the shots that she wants, but they're not falling. But way to go and follow that shot and get yourself to the free throw line and get them to her way.
Haley Cavinder, of course, took a year away from basketball and was nearly set to start her final season at TCU, but her and her sister Hannah decided to spend one more year here in Coral Gables, trying to replicate the success they had 2 years ago. Cavender's having a very strong season. Now 13 points today, 2-point game nearly midway through the 3rd quarter. Breland into the paint, almost traveled. Miami coaching staff wanted one. Rochelle looking to drive on Cavender. Difficult baseline shot. Couldn't get the roll. Cavender the board. 2-on-1. To the top of the perimeter. 3. Roberts. No. 0 for 16 now from distance. And you don't want to keep harping on it, but it's really eye-popping numbers at this juncture. Green will slow it down here. Gets the high ball screen. Mid-range. Can't get the bounce. Cavender looking for Williams inside. Goes cross court instead.
That's what happens. That's a shot that Haley would have taken outside of them being 0 for 16 right now.
Rogers is fouled and go to the line for a pair. I mean, it's a cliche thought, but you wonder how mental it is at this point, how contagious 0 for 16 can be. 2-point game, Miami at the line when we return.
Here we go again. This is SEC. Here we go again. This is SEC ACC basketball.
Let's go! Hey,
The challenge is here. Let's go. Y'all better get ready. Pony up.
Better watch out.
Bring it on.
Oh, miss.
Oh, got it. Stay
Oh, you really feel like college basketball hits its official stride when the conference challenges get underway. The ACC SEC Women's Challenge starting on Wednesday. Bunch of great matchups here. Vanderbilt 7-1 to start the season. Has some impressive wins this year. South Florida, Arizona have already taken them down, so that'll be a good challenge for Miami. In Louisville, Jeff Walls is looking forward to another strong season. They'll have a top 10 Oklahoma team coming into the Yum Center on Wednesday. All sorts of fun matchups coming up, starting. That's just day one on Wednesdays. They get started.
Absolutely. All eyes are on women's basketball right now, and so you are excited to see some elite basketball happening between the two conferences and the best of the best to take the court night after night, starting on Wednesday.
Both free throws good there from Rogers. Harmon will re-enter for the Hurricanes. Tied at 46. Great game on our hands right here. Andrews has been quiet in this half after that surge to start the game. Remberts knocks it down.
Everything and everyone showing up really well for this Charlotte team. Trying to maintain a lead and a hold of this run that they've put together.
Rembert has double figures in 2 of her last 3 games. You see the 3-point disparity right there. 4 minutes to play third quarter. Cavender can't connect. And a foul going against Miami.
And the drought continues from beyond the arc for this Miami team. They're going to have to find a way to get it done without scoring 3-pointers.
I mean, did any of your teams at Miami ever have a drought like this when your team was struggling to shoot? Like, what do you do in a situation like this?
They're lacking aggression. You have to be more aggressive, get to the basket. They're allowing the defense to dictate what they want to do. They have to play their game and get to the bucket.
That'll be an offensive foul on Andrews. The frustrating thing for Miami, a lot of these looks are open, generated by good ball movement. They're getting the shots they want. And it is just not falling. There's a lid on the rim so far for UM. Trailing by 2, 3.5 to play here in the third quarter.
And if you're going to continue to shoot, you just have to crash the boards even harder because they're not going in right now.
Charlotte back to the zone look inside. Harmon reverse, no. Tapped back out, but a foul on Miami.
That'll be the third on Marshall. It's a huge foul call, knowing the importance of Marshall on this team, and she's kind of had her challenges with staying out of foul trouble.
Miami's missed 6 of their last 7. That'll bring Williams back in.
I don't know. I would have to play Williams until she asked me for a sub. She's been that important and that crucial to this Miami success these past few games.
The brightest spot offensively today. Williams post touches. The 2 free throws coming up here for the 49ers. 4th team foul of the quarter for UM. 3rd, excuse me.
So how Charlotte is forcing their way inside of the 3-point line, getting to the basket, getting 2 feet inside of the paint before they pass the ball. That is what Miami needs to adopt on the other end of things. See a little bit more success.
Andrews now in double figures. Spent her first 2 seasons at Charleston, was a member of the CAA All-Rookie team. After scoring by 5 points per game last season after transferring into Charlotte. Misses the 2nd free throw, good rebound by Williams. Miami down by 3. Cavender, aggressive, and finishes.
I tell you, all of her points have been earned today. Nothing easy.
Well, the shots aren't falling for her, but she's had some determined drives to the bucket today. And impressive finishes as well. Green to the corner. Breland off the side of the rim. Miami wants to run. Cavender, great bounce pass to her sister, and Haley finishes at the rim.
That'll put Miami in the lead by 1. That's another Haley to Haley assist.
4 ties, 6 lead changes. Freeland. Miami switches on the screens. Andrews to the bucket. Out of play, off of Charlotte.
As you can see, this Haley to Haley effort, this sister-to-sister twin connection has allowed Miami to be up by 1, just over 2, remaining in the third.
Now the distribution from Haley Cavinder today. 8 assists now. 1 for 6 from the field. Sharing the rock. 2 minutes to play here, third quarter. Gonna figure out the zone right now. Timeout for Tricia Cola. Miami up by a point, 1:57 to play, third quarter. Must have not liked, been confused with something she saw.
A little stagnant on offense. They're rotating the ball around the horn, but the defense isn't shifting. So it doesn't matter if you are passing the ball back and forth at a rapid pace if the defense is still sitting there. So there has to be a cut, there has to be a pass to the high post, something that allows that defense to shift. And I know that Tricia, with a very important possession, doesn't want these 13 seconds to be in vain.
Yeah, Miami was doing, I think, exactly what Charlotte wanted them to do on that offensive possession. We've seen the Canes figure out the zone a couple times here throughout the game.
Not at a consistent rate.
Yeah.
Which this is a good test. This is what Miami needs to prepare them from SEC play. This is also what Charlotte is going to need to prepare them for conference play as well, American.
2 of the 3 losses this year for Charlotte. Wake Forest and Ohio State. Looks solid for many of their other contests. 8 seconds to shoot. Roberts, that was a difficult place to go between the legs. She was being harassed defensively. Stolen away, 14th Miami turnover.
Not really what you want coming out of a timeout.
Andrews, elbow, well off the mark. Maybe forced that shot. There was still time on the shot clock. Harmon up the floor, across the lane. Harmon will go to the line.
It's a big, solid body of a point guard, making her way through the lane and forcing the issue and getting to the free throw line.
Maya Hilton will enter. Harmon 2 of 2 at the stripe today. You're really high on this young freshman for the Hurricanes right now.
I just love her composure and her poise. And sometimes when Miami is a little, with the cardiac canes and just a little out of control, she brings a sense of calmness to this veteran team.
Part of this top 20 recruiting class for Tricia Colip. Miami out in front by 3, 6-0 run for the Canes. Charlotte quietly has not hit a bucket from the field in the last 3 minutes here. Miami elevating its defensive play. Go inside, Rembert turns, taking on Williams. No, short-armed it. Maybe numbers here for Miami. Cavender around the defense. Cavender foul. And the Canes getting into the free throw line here in the third quarter.
Getting a little bit of an explanation on the contact that happened. The last possession sent Hannah Cavender to the line.
Yeah, I think Tamika Reed wanted a foul on the other end before that. Officials saying there was no illegal contact. Cavender knocks down the first free throw. 3 points now. So 2+ minute scoring drought as well for Charlotte.
Discrepancy on who the foul was on is happening. So we'll have a little bit of a review.
Yeah. This is the largest lead of the game for Miami at 4.
If you're in Miami, you're saying, guess what? We can still settle down. A minute to go, the third quarter, and we're up 4, not have had made a single three-pointer this game.
The kind of games you can really find out a lot about your team. You can go a long way down the road. Say, hey, we may not need to be prolific from the outside sometimes to find ways to win. Of course, it's a lot more stressful way to the finish line that way.
Absolutely.
Chizokola, love to see one go down here soon. It's 0 for 17 right now. But Miami 17 of 19 from the stripe, and the defense is picking up here at the last 2.5 minutes. Inside, a Rimbert fade away, no. Charlotte going cold from the field here in the third quarter. Cavender stripped away. Good hands defensively, as it looked like Cavender was looking for another bucket at the rim.
Great awareness from this Charlotte group. Just relentless and not willing to just lay down. It would be easy to just do that if you were Charlotte. We gave our best effort. We led for most of the game, for more than half of the game, but Charlotte has a different mindset, a different outcome that they would want to this game.
See if they can get Haley Breland involved here in this final possession of the third quarter for them. Back-to-back field goals earlier in the quarter, and it felt like the tide was shifting a little bit. Dee Shepard drives. Back out to Breland. 10 to shoot. Cavender with the assignment defensively. Breland off target. Canes have 5 seconds. Cavender in midcourt. 1 second left. Harmon got it off in time. Yes! Harmon at the buzzer.
For the first three-pointer that Miami has had all evening long. And that
55-49. A.J. Ricketts, the Hall of Famer. Tamara James, just to have you with us here for the Miami Thanksgiving tournament. First shot of the fourth quarter off the mark. Charlotte gonna hang around here on the road. It bounce pass inside to Kelly. Almost lost her balance, got it inside. Difficult shot. Third opportunity coming for Charlotte. Shot clock doesn't reset though. Smith being harassed, have to get it off. Green, no. Finally picked up by Miami. Adams to the wing. Harmon for three. 0 for 18 and skying for the rebound is Charlotte. A foul
what
on
an explosion.
Miami.
Or collision, I should say.
It's on Kelly, excuse me.
Happy to see everyone get up.
Yeah. Climbing the ladder there for the rebound. Rembert will come back in.
Kelly picks up her fourth. Something she did not want to do so early in the fourth quarter.
Some important possessions here the next few minutes, partner, for Kiana Rembert defensively. You figure Miami will really try to get Williams involved. With Kelly on the bench. Cavender, corner, yes!
Shooters gonna shoot!
An explosion from the crowd. The first three-pointer today. 1 for 19 gives Miami a 9-point lead. Rembert taking on Williams, picks up the foul. So Miami got it done off the inbound play.
That is showing Miami that it's not always going to be easy. You're going to have to dig into those intangibles, rebounding, stopping key penetrations, keeping them off the offensive boards, finding ways to win other than your three-point percentage. Miami has out-rebounded so far Charlotte by over 20 rebounds.
39-19, the disparity at the moment in that department. So 14 assists on 20 made field goals for UF. For all the talk of the three-point shooting, it should be noted as well, Charlotte has not hit a triple in the second half.
Things have gotten a little cold, a little chilly. I know in Miami we have a cold front coming, but maybe it's settling in a little early down here in Miami.
By the way, that means under 80 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, I listened to the radio and they said, we're going to have a cold front in the 70s.
That's right.
We are so spoiled
That's
down
how
here.
we do it down here. Oh, inside, Miami missed the layup. Williams, count the basket.
Wow.
Adams missed the bunny, but Williams got the rebound, now has 16.
Haley with the penetration, kicks it out. When you get this type of movement, you get a wide open layup. Adams just not able to do it, but how about Williams with the finish and the cleanup on Al 44.
Talk about having a safety net defensively. Well, that's on the other end of the floor, too. Miss a layup, make a mistake, that's all right. Your center's there to clean it up. Cameron Williams, 16 points, 9 rebounds. Make it 17 points.
Double watch for Cameron Williams. I'm banking that she's going to hit that marker in the next 8.5 minutes.
High percentage probability. Breland, they're gonna need her to get going if the comeback's gonna start. And that's step one for Charlotte right there.
I just heard Coach Tamika Reed and her staff telling her she's going to have to shoot the basketball for them to have a chance.
Leah Harmon responds though, quick bucket for Miami. Lead back up to 9. Tamika Reed will call a timeout. 8:03 to play in the game. Charlotte hanging around, but Miami's in a verve too. Back after this in Coral Gables. Well, coming off a performance in which she was 9 of 10 from the field, Cameron Williams now 7 of 8 here today, nearly on pace for another double-double here at the Watsco Center. Miami's outscored Charlotte by 12 here in the second half. What's been impressive to you in this the second half surge?
Outside of Cameron Williams doing what Cameron Williams has done in the past several games, the difference maker has been this young lady right here, Haley Cavinder. She went on a run all by her own, a 7-0 run, and since then there's been no looking back. She is someone else that is close to this double-double marker with 17 points and 7 rebounds. Early on, she got it done with her rebounds. Now she's allowing Miami to have second chance opportunities and knocking down shots.
Had a personal 7-0 run earlier in the game. Got Miami going. Jayla Kelly still on the bench, and that's a travel underneath. Good defense by Williams. Tamika Reed is not happy with the call.
You know, I would probably use a challenge. I would want to see if she slid that foot because that was a terrific move.
Canes turn it over next possession, though. It's their 16th of the game. Breland just hit a 3, wanted to get another off. Important possessions here right now for the 49ers. Rembert spinning into a double team. Somehow got the shot up, and it falls through.
So the first time she got called for a travel, the second time she made sure to clean up that footwork. She's showing us her own little catalog of post play, and I love it.
Hilton mid-range, well short. Charlotte gets the rebound. Rochelle wound up with it, but they turn it over right away.
You won't see that easy of a turnover.
Charlotte sideline, the coaching staff immediately yelling, hey, next play, next play. They're loving the intensity and effort they're seeing. Just costly miscue right there.
It's not time to really harp on your turnovers
Yeah.
and your mistakes at this time. Not when Miami has the ball under the basket.
Williams being challenged, found Cavender at the logo. That's through.
Charlotte did a good job of double teaming Williams down there, but left Haley in the middle of the lane all by herself.
Second assist for Williams today, on top of her 17 and 9. Into the post. Double team comes. Rembert lost it, rolls out of play. Miami basketball.
Not the best possession from Charlotte.
Looks a little confused on what they wanted to do there.
Well, these are very important possessions that you can't just let go because you didn't have a good offensive possession. At least get a shot at the basket.
Miami will set up its offense here. Under 6.5 to go in Coral Gables. Miami up by 9, getting a real challenge from Charlotte here today. Williams wants it inside. Cavender driving, now at the elbow. Williams got it.
Cavender set that up with the penetration. Williams slid up the line a little bit and just able to hit that short jumper. That's a very difficult shot to hit.
It's starting to become more apparent that Cameron Williams is going to be much more than a complimentary piece for Miami. Be a real factor come ACC play.
Oh, she has to be.
Yeah.
Big, solid body. Very effective in the lane. Really good around the basket.
Look at her right here. Look at Cameron Williams. And it goes. It's been the Cameron Williams showcase the last couple of games here in the Watsco Center.
I love
9
her
of 10.
confidence.
Again from the field. 9 of 10.
I mean, it's very little Breland can do when you're inside the restricted area behind Williams.
Yeah, that's not where she wanted to be. Not where Charlotte envisioned her defensively at the end of that sequence.
They're gonna have to body her. They're gonna have to put 2 bodies on Cameron Williams immediately if they are going to go for last-minute run.
Miami spaces the floor so well, too. You can't just front the post. They'll lob it right over the top. 14-point edge now for the Canes. Breland forces up a 3. That goes. Couple triples here in the fourth quarter. Haley Breland is too little too late. Charlotte still have time. Cavender, quick shot. Rolls off. Maybe a little too quick for Miami there. Breland almost traveled.
Yeah, I think she got away with the little one there.
KK Green, assertive, wraparound pass. Jayla Kelly not expecting it. Trisha Colop saying, slow it down, slow it down.
Yeah, if you're Miami, you want good quality shots, eat a little bit at that time. Get deep into your shot clock and get a good shot. If you're Charlotte, you have to put together a string of stops right here, right now.
8 to shoot. Green on Cavender, Charlotte switches. 3 seconds to get it off. Inside, Williams turns. She missed.
And almost, Charlotte almost
human.
didn't secure the rebound.
Williams 9 of 11 from the field now. 18 of 21 the last 2 games. Breland has some space to work with. Short arm, the jumper. Roberts tried to go behind the back there. Miami fortunate to still have it. Numbers corner three. Oh yeah! Leah Harmon from the outside.
And not necessarily the shot you would want if you were Trisha Cullop with 3.5 minutes left. But boy, has she been a joy off the bench.
One of 3 players on the floor now in double figures. Harmon has 11. That may have been a dagger of sorts. Breland airballs from the wing. Cavender up the floor. Into the corner. Hannah Cavender, bullseye! Timeout, Charlotte. Back-to-back triples from Miami after all the struggles this afternoon. What a gritty performance from the Canes.
Charlotte not moving with that same level of intensity and bounce in their step. When you look at what Miami has been able to put together in these last couple of possessions, the freshman in Harmon, corner 3 in transition. Haley Cavinder, sister to sister to Hannah. Corner 3 from Hannah. And that will get a timeout called from Charlotte just to slow down the momentum that this Hurricane team is running away with right now.
9 points, 9 assists now for Hannah Cavender. Contributions all across the board. Williams has 22, Haley Cavinder 19. Harmon with 11. And it took Miami a little bit to figure out this pesky, talented Charlotte 49er roster that they're picked to finish 11th in the American this year. The way they're playing today, last couple of games, be surprised if they do finish that low.
They're absolutely battle tested.
Yeah.
Especially under this leadership. She is going to make sure, Tamika Reed is going to make sure that Charlotte is battle tested and ready, because I think that they may take that number 11 as a little bit of sign of disrespect, a little chip on their shoulder, something to prove. I foresee them finishing 7-8.
I was impressed with her in the preseason. She said, I have no intentions of building slowly. A lot of coaches just won't come out and say anything other than, hey, might take patience, might take time. She said, they say Rome wasn't built overnight. That's not a saying I believe in. She wants to build this and build it fast.
Rome also didn't have the amount of resources that we have now, right? So you can expedite this process.
There wasn't the transfer portal back in Rome.
Absolutely. I would not want to build Rome in any day.
No
right
NIL
now.
back in the day. Foul on Miami there. 17-point lead for the Canes. So Breland unable to replicate the 30-point outburst she had last time out. 10 points on 4 of 13 shooting. Williams is running the floor hard, just missed it.
Beautiful transition possession by Miami, just couldn't get it to fall. But Miami's running like it's the first quarter again.
It was a 1-point game at the half. Foul on the drive here will send Imani Smith to the free throw line.
And if you're Charlotte, that's what you have to do. You have to stop the clock. You have to make free throws, and you have to get stops. You have to do all 3 of those things every single possession in order to claw your way back with a little under 2:30 to go in the ball game.
Trying to get off this nearly 3-minute scoring drought. Came at the worst time here in the fourth quarter for Charlotte. It's a 13-3 Miami run.
And then if you're Charlotte, you're going to have to pick Miami up. Provide some full court, if not 3/4 court pressure. Try to get some easy steals.
Canes have been turnover prone for much of today. They have cleaned it up a bit here in the fourth quarter. Hit it across to Harmon. Crossover, Harmon. Oh, swatted away by Kelly, who was playing volleyball there.
Whoa. Look at
out.
Harmon with the strong drive, but Kelly said, no, ma'am. No more Thanksgiving plates in her house.
Jayla Kelly, that was impressive. UCF transfer. What a nice block defensively there. Just over 2 minutes to play. Charlotte needs a quick bucket. Breland forces one in. 13-point deficit. Trap comes. Cavender across the timeline, and this time Harmon in no rush.
They'll get deep into the shot clock if they don't have anything quick in order to limit the possessions needed to secure this victory.
Trying to get Cavender open off his pin screen. A little hesitation on Kelly. 3 defenders surround. Hilton's open and buries it.
Inside out shots. Be those most high effective shots. And I'm not even sure how Haley and Hannah can see those overhead skip passes that they do, but they know exactly where their teammates are going to be.
Some big time Hilton points right there. Breland off.
And I think we've seen the best that Charlotte could give us in this matchup today.
They gave the Hurricanes all they could handle for 3+ quarters. Miami a few seconds away from improving to 6-0 to start the season as Marshall around the rim now. Smith the rebound. Cavender went flying. This will be a common foul.
Haley will get a much deserved reception for her 19-9 effort.
Yeah, there were times throughout the first half felt like Charlotte had the momentum. Miami was on the back foot. Cavender turned things around as Hannah Cavender gets the board there. Canes can dribble it out if they want. It'll be a fun matchup against Vanderbilt next week. And it feels Charlotte has a good season ahead of them as well. This is a great start to this Thanksgiving tournament. Crowd showing their appreciation. We got a fun one today, didn't we?
We absolutely did. We got a treat. Saw possibly the best that Charlotte had to offer right here at the Watsco Center. And the Canes staying undefeated.
6-0, Miami remains unblemished. Had to work